This is the Wordlife Show, hosted by Krazy on Ujima 98 FM, Tuesdays 8 till 10. This is, where we interviewed the special guest host that we've had in throughout the show. And we've had a pleasure to have none other than Bristol's very own, Slowie.
Come on.
In the building. I mean, man's been killing it out here, like, on a level, like, steady for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
It's taken a while.
It's taken, like, to be fair, you've been putting in work from ground zero as far as I'm concerned since I've been doing it, you know what I mean?
Man.
One of the people that's been there from day dot. But I think you've really come into yourself and you've really found your style.
Yeah, thank you.
You've always been a good rapper, always been a good artist, but I think you've sat down and you've planned and figured out what it is you want to do and how you're going to get out there, and I think it's about time people are taking notice. So come on.
Thank you, man.
Applaud to my G's, come on. Right, so basically, as I say, if you've just tuned in, okay, it's the Wordlife Show, and I'm joined by the special guest host, Slowie. Now, he has recently dropped an EP called Snakes and Blaggers on Dirkle Disco.
Yeah.
Big up Coast. I mean, what made that happen? Where did that come from?
To be honest, you know, like obviously I took a bit of time out of music when my son was born, so I took about 6-7 years out of music. But I always kept writing bars, and Coast kind of rang me up one day and said, "Oh, we're doing Nasty FM. I want you to come down to the radio set." I was like, "Oh, I don't know, a bit rusty. That Bugsy, everybody was dancing." Went down, it was alright, smashed it. So he kind of just dragged me back into it. He was kind of like, "Yeah, I've got a gig for you here. You can go and do this." So I always kind of knew that the first thing I was gonna release, I was gonna put it out on Dirkle.
Right. Because he pulled you back in.
Yeah, like I kind of owe a lot to Coast, man. So big up to Coast, you know.
Nope.
He's always been there and he's always supported me from day one. So
that's good to hear, man. Because I got a lot of love for Coast. Big up Coast, man. That's
shout out to Coast.
A good guy who's been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes for a lot of stuff that's going on in Bristol. I mean,
a lot of people, man.
That guy grafts and he grinds hard, man. I got a lot of love for that. And since the Central Spills days, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Central Spills.
Yeah, man. Come on, that was some fun Bristol music, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was good. You know what I mean? Big up Danny C. Strats and all that. So Snakes and Blaggers, it's a 4-track EP.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, there's the title track, which is produced by Jake's Snakes and Blaggers.
Yep.
Was that the first one you had written? What made you pick the name and go with that as the title?
Nah, it weren't really. It was taking me a while to get it, but I guess life situations.
Yeah.
And things just happened. Made me realise there's a lot of snakes out there and there's a lot of blaggers out there.
I mean, that's solid. Yeah.
I just thought, and a lot of my tunes, I think you can hear that in the tunes, the things that I'm talking about, especially like the Jake's tune. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to come out and say Slowie, Snakes and Blaggers.
I think that was a good statement. You know, I think it's very, very real. Very real.
Very real, yeah.
There's a lot of snakes and even more blaggers, man.
A lot more blaggers,
There's people who ain't even got nothing to snake about, they're just blagging it, you know. The pile of them, you know.
Yeah.
But, right, so let's take it back prior to Snakes and Blaggers EP. We're going to where they can get that from. We got about 10 minutes of interview, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so where did it all start? What was the first time you touched mic? Where did it...
Wow.
Like, can you remember back that far?
Yeah, like in school, and then I was young. We had a little group called HFC that was in Horfield. Shout out to Fire, Jinxter, all them, Thriller. And it was 2 guys DJing called Arrow and Ability at the time, and we built a little self-contained studio in the back garden, plasterboarded out of mic booth, and we had the decks. Yeah, bro, it was
okay, I didn't know you might have that. Yeah,
it was I'm a builder, innit? You know, I was a builder, innit?
Yeah. No, I knew. Oh, that was in your back garden, or what?
Nah, it was in their back garden. Yeah,
but they made you do all the graft to build.
Yeah, of course. I had to trade, innit? So I had to put my bit in. So yeah, we did that, and then everybody used to come round once a week. And we used to do sets, and we used to record the sets. We used to put the sets out on CD and bang them all out, all around BS7, BS10, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And then I moved away.
Did you go like school up in Fishponds or something like that, though?
Yeah, no, I went to Monk's Park in Horfield.
Oh, Monk's Park, is
it?
Because
yeah.
I knew you from up in Fishponds then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Easton, innit?
Yeah.
So obviously I grew up in Easton.
You went Whitehall Primary.
You went to the same
primary school as me, fam. That's what it was. Shame on my life. Sorry, that's what it was.
I know we're getting old, mate. But
no, sorry.
So anyway, so me and Krazy went to the same primary school together.
Yeah, that's deep.
And Yeah, then I moved away. I went to Horfield. I went to school in Horfield. Then I moved away till I got in a bit of trouble back in the day, and I had to kind of just pack my stuff and leave. We won't go into that too much, but it was one of them growing up things that you have to do. So I moved away for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And I met up with a group called the Lynch Mob, and they were doing grime at the time because I was doing drum
Lynch
and bass.
Mob rings a bell, isn't it? Like, where do I know that from?
It's they were like from like Reading side.
Oh, that's not Bristol dudes. Then.
They're
Quite big, isn't it?
I moved away, So like obviously I was doing drum and bass back in the day, like in Powerhouse every weekend.
Yeah, because you and Delta and them lot. Did you have a crew with them lot, or was that?
Nah, it weren't really a crew. It was like you had Chiller from.
That's right, Chiller, innit? Yeah. That's my boy, yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
That's his brother.
Pro Status and that. They was all doing Pro Status.
That's it. Memories are flooding back now. How have I forgotten all that?
Yeah,
that's bad, isn't it? Yeah.
So they was doing Pro Status, and me and Delts was doing a little bit. But I was branching off. I was working with Flipsy.
Yeah.
So I was working with Stress a lot as
right.
well. Back
See, I didn't know about you in the politics and all that, but I remember Delta was good and you were sick, you know what I mean? And that's what stood out.
That was the thing. So we was kind of from the same area, that sort of area, around Fishponds, that sort of area.
Yeah.
So at the time, but yeah, so anyway, so I moved away and I met up with this group called the Lynch Mob. So I was a drum and bass MC. So I got with them. They were doing grime. Started spitting grime, and then when I came back, I met up with a few people back in Bristol, and Bristol had moved forward a little bit, and it was a lot more grime.
Yeah. So how many years ago was it you moved back, roughly, we're talking? Because that would explain why I didn't see you about for a bit then. Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Yeah, I was doing MTV Bass, and then one day I was doing MTV Bass, the next day I just stopped doing music, bro. It was as deep as that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to go into the reason why, or should we just
My
be happy
son,
about
bruv,
it?
no,
Was that what? Okay. No, do you know, that's a blessed
like
thing.
My
you know
son was born, bruv, and do you know what? I had a house in Emerson's Green at the time that I had to try and keep up in the bills, and do you know what I mean? My missus was like, do you know what? You can't be going out doing these free gigs and these open mic. You need to be working. So I was working. I was working 12-hour shifts, and I just got my head down, mate, and started paying the bills. So
that's very respectable. Come on, man. If you got a you, that comes priority to everything else. You know what I mean? It's not like you can send you out to work.
But then, do you know what the good thing is, bruv? Like, took 6 years out, come back, and just stepped straight back into it. Like I hadn't even moved out of it.
Tell you what, like that's having techers and skills that are like that. I think there's a lot of people that couldn't come away from it and do that and do what you've done.
I kind of always rip bars, bro. I never gave it up and just shut off. Like I still used to listen to what people was doing, and it used to kind of get on my nerves, innit?
I bet that was like, just like, I could do that. I
was gonna say something else then, but I thought it just got on my nerves a bit.
Yeah.
So I always had it in me, and I always wanted to keep writing bars. So when I came back, I was kind of ready.
Yeah. See, I remember like from youth clubs and Linton's party and sort of things like
Linton's
that. Where
party, my.
Yeah, I won't get into that. Let's just say there was a lot of police that night. There's like 8 cars outside or something. So, it was a bit mental. Man, I had to go hide and all sorts. Like it was crazy.
Lock off.
Big up Little. Yeah. Now I got a lot of that's my guy, but crazy that. But one thing that I come away from that day was realizing what a sick MC's become. Because in the yard, like there was the cypher thing going on, innit?
Yeah.
And you were shutting it down, fam. Like honestly, it was impressive. Like
I think the system blew up, innit?
I don't. Yeah.
I think it shut down on a sticky beat. How do I remember that? Bro?
Because it was an imprint on life. That must have been a big.
I suppose so.
Nah,
but I'm talking like.
That's like.
We're talking 20.
Yeah, 20 years
20 odd years ago, bro.
Yeah. That long, you were allowed to give it that much away,
Yeah.
Obviously, we look young and fresh for the camera, innit? You know, like. A man don't even moisturize, fam. Right, okay, so we got like 4 minutes left of this interview. So.
Wow.
Yes, I told you it flies by. It's mad, isn't it?
Flies by, innit?
Right, so basically, I'm gonna get into where you can get all your music from in a minute. So on the lot, get your notepads out and ready because you know you want to get that on your phones and everything. You have. You've done an old mixtape. You sent us out. Yeah. Are those tracks available still? Any of the old ones?
You know what? I ain't got a clue.
Oh, bro.
Like I said to you, all I did back in the day, we never had no media, no social media, nothing
pre
like that.
MySpace.
You literally had to like post off your CDs to people and they're going to listen to it. So it was like...
But then if someone actually posted your CD, you'd probably respect the game a bit more and listen to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, yeah. But no, I just... Basically, I just made the mixtape with Flipsy, shout out Flipsy, and all we did was just make, I think we made like 100 hard copies of it.
Yeah.
And I just went out, I went to Rooted Records back in the day, replay all them places. Can I just put a few CDs on the shelf, please? He was like, how much do you want for it? I was like, well, I don't know. What?
£5 piece.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Whatever, really.
Yeah.
I just want it on the shelf. So he was like, just leave them there. And I rang up the shops and they sold out, but do you know what? I never even collected the money, bro. That's how deep it was.
And now they're all shut down and everything like that. Yeah, well,
So,
clearly it wasn't you that put them out of
do you know what?
business.
So actually, if anybody out there has got a Technicalities mixtape by me, then could you hit up Krazy and let me know? 'Cause
let's
I'd
get
love to
copies
get
of
my.
it. We
I
need
can't
that.
even remember the tunes that was on there. That's how
Wow,
deep it
that's
is.
the.
bro.
I tell you what, I've got like 3 CDs. I can't remember any of the songs too as well. It's mental. Like, how old have we got really? What's happened to us? Like, I think it's the. Anyway, right. So next project. We got 3 minutes left. We have to fight to this. You got your next EP almost lined up already. You said.
I can't talk too much about it, but obviously this EP I finished it a while ago, but it took quite a while to actually get released because of the distributor changed.
Right.
There's a couple of long producers, which but it took a while anyway before I actually
just
got
getting
released.
it all signed off and everything.
So like, even when I was waiting for the Snakes and Blaggers EP to get released, I was already writing the next tunes.
Yeah.
And all I'll say is the next producers, obviously I've branched out of Bristol this time, and the next producer, if somebody would have said to me I would have been working with some of these producers is on the next EP, I would have told them nah.
You'd have laughed.
So yeah, like I'm super excited about that, and it shows a kind of different side to me. And yeah, I'm just excited about everything that's coming, man.
Amazing. Right, okay, right, we got 2 minutes. Hang on, you got a show. You're on Flex FM. In London. When's that? Thursday?
It's on Friday. Friday night, but also on Friday night I'm at Cozy's as well.
Hang on, so you got to get all the way out to there and then back to Cozy's.
Yeah.
Pick up your driver, man. Yeah.
Bro, do you know what? I reckon I could do that motorway with my eyes closed, bro. Like,
Yeah.
There's so many.
I'm
I
gonna
would
say
do that,
don't.
or like tell anybody to try that. But
I mean, use both hands, like everything normal.
yeah, that's
but
the
yeah.
amount of times I've been up there, brothers. But I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, man, and that's part of putting the graft in. So
right. Well, I think we're out Friday, so
and I'm gonna be at Motion on Boxing Day as well, bro.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
It's a Motion. Oh.
Yeah, so all them Bristolians get down to Motion. So it's gonna be going off, mate. It's gonna be good.
Boom. All right, we got 1 more minute of this interview, so please, can you plug your social media and tell them where they can get the Snakes and Blaggers EP, because they need to know that.
Okay, yeah, well, you can get the Snakes and Blaggers EP on all major digital downloads, all your iTunes,
Spotify,
all that.
so they can stream it. What happens if they want to download it?
Yeah, you can download it. You can go onto the Durkle Disco Bandcamp,
Right.
which is easy enough to find. Just put in Durkle
Durkle
Disco.
Durkle.
DURKLE Disco, obviously, and it'll just come up and it's all on there.
All
I've
them neon
got a
lights.
bit of merch on there as well at the moment, some Snakes and Blaggers t-shirts. So if you go on there, you can go and cop that as well.
Yeah.
And what was the other question?
I just want your social medias, man.
Oh yeah, the
Tell them
social media.
So they can follow. What's your Instagram?
Okay, so you can get me on Instagram at Slowie_1. You can get me on Twitter at SlowieMC, and you can get me on Facebook and SoundCloud at MC Slowie.
So all pretty uniform.
All
Slowie.
pretty standard.
For any of you people wondering how to spell that, it's SLOWIE.
Yeah, that's the
Go
one.
cut that, man. I mean, like, we're going to go into some live bars and freestyles now after the break. We got commercial breaks for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
So pin back your ears and get ready, because man's going to shut it down. I've got
Come on.
a doubt in my mind, yeah? All right, we're going to set things up in the studio. Big up DHACK Media on the cam. Stick around after the commercial break. It's going to get lively. Let's go.